Okay. Get everything set up. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually do that myself, honestly. Okay. All right. Okay. And so I'm going to be doing the NA meeting a little bit earlier today. It did slip my mind that my daughter's birthday party is this afternoon. Her birthday is tomorrow, but we will be celebrating her birthday today. I actually slipped my mind. So I'm going to actually do the NA meetings right now. We're going to go through obviously the news, and then after the news, we're going to go into the charts and try to find a great area to get into this market. But let's jump into it. Let's jump into it real quick. Okay. So at 7:30, we have these, we have building permits, we have continuous and initial jobless claims. And like I stated before, the market will probably be looking at the initial and continuous jobless claims going into tomorrow. We also got some housing news, housing starts for the month of May at 7:30 as well. And we also have the Philly Fed as well at 7:30. So we definitely have a lot of news or market moving news that's being released at 7:30. But honestly, at this point, that's nothing new. Excuse me. We have our boy Crash Kari at 7:45, baby. Shout out to all the bears out there. We got our boy Crash Kari coming out. We got some crude news at 10 o'clock. And we have the 10-week bill auction here at 10:30. So that's it for the news. I mean, the focus tomorrow is going to be at that 7:30 release. Remember, we don't want to try to interpret the news. We just want to trade the reaction to the news. And if you're not well positioned before the news is released, I would highly recommend waiting for the reaction, then getting into a trade once the reaction to the news is done and over with. So with that said, let's jump into these charts. Now, as expected, the market chopped in a range today. We did have an initial move up from open. The Nasdaq did trade up into that 250 area of resistance. We did see an initial drop. The bulls came right back in, and you can see that the bears are making an attempt to have a break of structure at that level. Now, as I said on stream, this is an A+ short setup. However, bearish price action is getting no play in today's market. So on this one, It's literally a gamble on both sides. So far, we do have the bulls holding the bottom of this range. However, the bears are currently trying to have a break from that range. So the question here on the Nasdaq is, will the bulls be able to hold this area? And if they hold this area, will we see a break of structure from this area? And if the bulls can break out from this range, will we get a pullback and a push higher? Or will we get this pullback, the bulls fail, and the bears are able to finally rotate price going back into this range right here? Or at least yesterday's low at 203. So the bears definitely going to have a lot of work to do. They're going to have to take out this low, and they're going to want to trade back into this range. And if the bears are lucky, and if the market is on the bears side tomorrow, we can get a break of this range, trading back into that lower structure. However, that's a pipe dream at this point. The bears are lucky if they get past this low. They're lucky. But on the other side of the coin, if the bulls can hold the bottom of this range, we can definitely see a breakout. We can definitely see one. The bulls have definitely been defying chart gravity. As I've said, this is an A+ short setup, but we should not be surprised if the bulls come back, use the stops as fuel to push this market higher. We get a retest back into this range, and this is where you want to be a buyer. I wouldn't want to be a buyer here because this is too risky. I want the bulls to prove that they want this. I want them to break out. I want to see that pullback. No, first off, I want to see that breakout, and I want to see price acceptance above this high and above this range. Once I see price acceptance from this range, I want to see price trade back in, find support, and this is where I want to be a buyer for that move higher, because the bulls have proven that they wanted this market, and I want to obviously trade on the right side of liquidity. So we didn't get too much price action to go off of earlier in the session. So this is going to be one of those days where you definitely going to have to watch the price action overnight, because we didn't get too much information to go off of to be able to trade effectively going into tomorrow. So we're going to need more data to print on the chart with this one. I mean, if the bulls do fail to hold off on this range, which it does appear that the bears are slightly selling it off, and the bears don't hold it here, or the bulls don't hold it here, I can definitely see the bears trading through both of these ranges if they're successful. Because if we get a trade, if price trades through this range, it's definitely going to begin to trade in this range. I still have my eye on that 117 level. Yeah, that 120 to 117 level, I still have my eye on that level. I do expect for the bulls to come in at that level if price finds its way down here. However, we do have quad witching on Friday, so the market may want to set itself up for a parabolic move to the up or downside. If we get this move down, then I expect for us to continue to grind down in preparation for Friday. That will be my bias until we get more information. And once we get that move down, come Friday, OPEX, we can see a crazy move back and forth with OPEX. But I believe the market is going to use tomorrow to set the market up, because today was a holiday and the banks were closed. So for right now, that's going to be my bias. It's definitely going to be challenging to determine what the market is going to want to do tomorrow. And we're definitely going to have to trust the charts tomorrow, especially after we get that news release at 7:30. Depending on what direction the market trades into, it will kind of give me an idea of which side of the market I should trade on. Let's actually look at the hourly chart for the Nasdaq. I mean, even the hourly chart is saying that we're in for a move down. Even the hourly chart is suggesting that we're in for a move down. However, I'm not gonna lie, it is hard to trust this. It is hard to trust because look at these 2 hourly candles right here. And the bulls just straight bought that thing right back up. They bought it up. This was a red candle as well, but it turned into a doji. It opened exactly where it closed here on the hourly chart. And then the bulls took full control of this market. So it's definitely going to be challenging to be a bear. However, we don't want to rule out a bearish possibility because here on this hourly chart, you can clearly see the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. I mean, it's clear as day to see that this is a head and shoulders pattern and that the market should be making this move to the downside. So we're going to have to see. We're going to have to wait to see what happens overnight before we can really move forward with the Nasdaq. With that said, let's jump into this ES chart. So the one thing that the ES has done that the Nasdaq has not is that it had price acceptance over old highs. We had this range breakout. You can see that price pulled back into this range and we had another move to the upside. However, even though we had this breakout and this retest, the bears were still able to push price back into this range. I'm pretty sure that was probably due to low liquidity, but for the fact that we had a breakout, we had a retest, we had buyers coming in at this level and pushing it higher, that tells me that I need to pay attention to this area and that this area is definitely going to be important. If the bulls fail to hold this range, if they fail to hold this range, we can definitely see price trade into this range. We might see this, and then we might see a move back down into this range, because this range right here is going to be key. It's definitely going to be key for the bulls to hold. And if they don't, then we're going to see that move to the downside. Yeah, so the ES is definitely trading in a range, a tight range. After we got that big massive move up, because this is a bullish move up into a trading range. And honestly, on the ES, I don't see a massive reversal. However, if price is traded back down into this range and we get a break at this range right here, we can definitely see that next move down. And I do have a level at that 525 to 520 level on the ES. I'm pretty sure this would be a bumpy move down. However, I do expect for the bears to come back at that 520 level on the ES, and I'll show you why. You got these old highs right here, this 519 to 517. Somewhere in this area is where I expect the bulls to come back in and try to take this market going higher if price trades into this area. We do have last week's close at this 500 level. I mean, I wouldn't say that it would be impossible for the bears to be able to trade back down to this 500 level. You can see that we had a breakout from this level, and from this level, price has not pulled back. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a retest of this 500 level on the ES. If the market doesn't like the news that's coming out at 7:30 tomorrow, and if OPEC's, and I guess how the banks want to trade OPEC. So I'm definitely going to keep this level on my radar. I definitely have that 520 to 517 level on my radar. It does appear that another area that the bulls could come back into is this 507 level. You can see that we've had a break here at 500, and we also had a break here at this 507 level. So we could possibly see the market try to tap back into this level. And since 500 is only 6 points away from this level, I would not find it hard to believe for them to tap into this 500 level first, then and move to the upside. That would not be surprising to me at all. But we're definitely going to trade the charts day by day. And let's go and look at the hourly chart real quick. So you can see that obviously the ES and the Nasdaq hourly chart is different. You can see that once we got that range breakout, you can see that there's price acceptance, and the bulls are now trying to buy off the 21 EMA here for a push up higher to try to take out this high at 567. You can see that the bulls are already coming in. It used to be that either the Nasdaq or the Nasdaq was the leading indicator. If the Nasdaq was flipping bullish, then you could have expected for the ES to flip bullish. However, from what I'm experiencing now with the ES is definitely becoming the leading indicator for the Nasdaq. We had the range breakout on the ES. We can already see that the bulls are coming in on the ES here at this 21 EMA. So if we see a massive bullish move on the ES, then I would expect the same for the Nasdaq as well. So I don't think I've ever seen a day where the Nasdaq was bearish and the ES was bullish. I don't think I've ever seen that. So just be mindful. If you're going to short the Nasdaq, make sure you're protecting your position and your account. But with that said, that's all I have on both of these instruments. Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait for more information on this one. So for right now, this is all I have. We'll come back at the 8:30 or at the New York Open, and we'll make more money. With that said, peace out.